This is the plot twist that you've been waiting for, okay? And more importantly, this is the plot twist that has been waiting for you and has been waiting for your arrival, all right? This is a new chapter that's ready to welcome you. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you the message that we have. So, the message that was coming through is that the stage is being cleared for you. All right, the stage is being cleared. Aloha hokuohana. Thank you so much for joining me here for this very sacred message. This is the stillness between timelines. This is the quiet before the storm. And it feels like this is going to be a very loud arrival. All right, it's a very loud arrival. But it happens after a period of stillness, right? And recalibration. So the analogy that I was receiving was the stage is being cleared. Now, what I want you to kind of visualize that's going on in the cosmic theater right now is that the nodes are shifting, right? Are you ready for the new chapter? Because this is where there is that pause in between scenes, okay? And you can imagine that you're pretty much standing in a theater just after a major scene that's taking place in your life or a major act that's finished, right? And you've been prepared for this next scene that's about to unfold, okay? In ways that you don't realize it yet, okay? Because I'm hearing this is almost something that you're going to be getting the ropes of, okay? The message that was coming through is that this is something that you're going to begin to kind of feel like you're learning as you're going, but what you're going to learn is that you have everything within you to really flourish in this next scene, and I'm hearing this next season, okay? And the lights have dimmed, you know, like the stage hands have kind of like swept away the props that have been kind of taking up space in this, you know, particular scene, this particular chapter of your life. Maybe it's things that you've kind of accumulated, and you begin to kind of roll back any kind of heavy, you know, scenery, anything that has been making, I'm hearing the past, okay? And quietly, these things are being removed, okay? And instead, anything that belonged to the last performance is literally being taken out of your energy field right now. That's what I'm seeing. It's like it's being cleared, is being put somewhere in the back. It doesn't matter, right? It's being used, it served its purpose, it doesn't serve a purpose for this next chapter. And there is a pause, right? Where there is no music, there is no spotlight, there's just the sound of the stage being at rest. There's just the sound of things being empty. You know, I'm seeing you being moved into a new house. So it feels like you're literally being moved into a new environment in some way, even if it's like the conditions within yourself that have completely shifted, and you've cleared away old belief systems, old ways of thinking, feeling, and, you know, moving through this existence. You know, I'm hearing there's been like a huge update, right? That's gone on, and it's not just that the show has ended, it's that there is a new scene that's about to begin. And I'm hearing this one, sometimes it takes okay, this is exciting. I don't know if you have ever gone to the theater, but if you have, or if you haven't, I'm going to go ahead and explain this part for you. I don't know what it's called, but you know where there's like shorter segments, right? And shorter scenes. And then there is a larger interval that takes place where there's usually at the midway mark between the show where they allow the audience to take a break, right? And I feel like this is the time where it's like I'm seeing like your spirit guides on the other side of the veil, right? Encoded into your field. It's almost like it feels like they've kind of gone off duty, or the appearance of that. But, you know, they're just taking their breaks. They're making where it appears like maybe things have gone quiet. You know, that's almost the energy that I'm receiving. Like the angels that you talk to, the spirit guides, all of these kind of things. Like everything's suddenly gone quiet, and it feels like you're alone. Anyway, what you don't see is that this thing's happening behind the veils, right? There's meetings, there's alignments, there's everything that's being orchestrated. And yeah, this is almost like the largest pause that you've ever experienced. It's the largest appearance of stagnancy, but you don't realize that it's not static at all. It's actually leading to a continuous summation of infinite quantum paths that are being opened up. And yeah, that's what I'm seeing. It's a sacred recalibration, if you will, as things are being refined. And you know, then there's like a whole new scene and setting that you get to experience as the curtain draws and you're met with the second part of the show. So anyway, this is what it feels like, right? So yeah, it's almost like the stage is being set and the pieces have arrived so that the next act can begin. And these are pieces that you don't see yet, right? You're at the point where the curtain hasn't fully peeled back yet, but things have rearranged themselves behind the curtain. So this is about you stepping into the unknown, right? kind of seeing behind the veil and trusting this process that's going on. But yeah, it's almost as if the old props that were there previously were almost like cluttering the scene. It could have been a distraction for the audience, and it could have diluted the impact of what was coming. So this time, okay, which is just, the distance between two events that you're experiencing, this stillness, okay, between these two events, again, the space between these two times, these two timelines, these two experiences, uh is necessary. It's like you're going through a refinement period right now. You're going through a making room for something new, okay, even if you don't necessarily know what that is yet. So the eclipse season is like that, right? It's the moment for you that the universe says that, hey, the stage crew is moving things behind the curtain when it comes to the story of your life. It's the moment where it's clearing out old relationships, habits, even ambitions that belong to an earlier act, that belong to a previous version of you. Maybe things that would have fulfilled you once upon a time are not really going to bring you that fulfillment on a soul level in this next leg of the journey, right? Because I'm hearing like break a leg. That's what I'm seeing. It's almost like something that you're going to have to, it's like you're being sent out on stage. That's what I'm seeing. And it's something that you're gonna have to like gather the ropes in regards to, right? So yeah, you might feel the stillness, you might feel the pause or like, the emptiness, but it's only because the next scene is being built in order to be able to fit who it is that you are now and not who you were before, right? Nor the things that I'm hearing you were being surrounded with as far as your environment goes, right? The things that were taking up room inside of you that were really, I'm hearing in retrospect, you're gonna look back and see how they were kind of blocking you from being able to fully open up, right? From fully being able to express yourself fully without the need to, I'm hearing, do that selectively. It's like you get to open yourself up authentically, truly. It kind of does remind me, especially if these are like people that you had surrounded yourself with in some kind of way. It's almost like I'm hearing it was mirrored reflections of where you felt like you could only show or reveal certain aspects of yourself. And it's the same aspects that maybe you felt like were going to be distasteful or wouldn't be accepted that you're going to be loved for in this next season. So, yeah, when the lights do come back on, you'll see why the clearing was necessary. This is a moment that is worth the wait. And this space has been made for a much bigger role that you're about to take in this next cycle. A new set, a fresh story that's beginning to play out, right? It's like you're stepping into a new dimension where new stories can begin to play out. And it matches you with new resonant timelines, right? Because of the frequency that you're embodying now. And I'm hearing you've been clearing your frequency, right? You've been clearing the frequency of thought, emotions that you don't want to take with you in the next cycle, right? The ways of relating when it comes to your journey on earth, you're seeing that from a higher vibrational way of being. And that's only happening because you're detached enough, right? Which is to become high vibrational to release the stories that have played out, the characters that had played parts in that last scene. And instead, you're seeing the purpose that it served, and you're bringing forward that wisdom with you in this next cycle. And I'm hearing that wisdom is something that you are actually armed with. So let's see what this is. I want to see the stage that has been cleared for you. Let's take a look at this. Right. Let's open up with the Cosmos Oracle message. Okay, what's been cleared is, wormhole. So yeah, wormhole talks about a shortcut of events. So it's actually your ability to release. Okay, we have spectrum. So this is opening you up to a new spectrum of possibilities. Things that you wouldn't actually be able to see and experience otherwise. This talks about the collapse of time, right? So what this is I feel as if you're sensing the new scene, right? I'm hearing, even though you can't look at the changes right now because the curtain is still here, right? I feel like this isn't necessarily collapse into your third dimensional reality just yet, but it's existing in the field, right? It's something that still needs, I'm hearing, more time to kind of coalesce. It's something that still needs more time, right? Change down the timeline that you'll get to experience before the next curtain draws. And Wormhole talks about when that curtain draws, you are literally not just going to have a paradigm shift, but there is almost like an adjustment period because you're stepping into a complete new realm. This is about your life becoming unrecognizable, and it's a reflection of where you no longer recognize your old self. And it's funny. I'm seeing actually your old self. No, it doesn't recognize you. It's almost like you look in the mirror and it's like, well, who is this? Um, and I'm saying it in the way of you knew that girl or you knew that guy, but that girl and guy was yet to meet you. And it feels like this is like an aspect within yourself. It's kind of like you're meeting a parallel of yourself. This is what I'm seeing. You're meeting yourself, right, from an outside perspective. Right? This is the vibe that I'm receiving. You're seeing yourself from an outside perspective, and you're an audience member in the theater. And you've been witnessing in this last chapter the main character that didn't realize that they were one. Okay, you were witnessing the version of yourself that had kept silent, the version of yourself that bit their tongue, the version of themselves that compromised their integrity and would rather walk with someone just to not be alone than to walk with um, and walk with someone unaligned than to walk alone. That's like the energy that's coming through. And there's something about you stepping into sovereignty in this next cycle. It's almost like you're stepping into this next scene where that same character has gone through a glow up. And this is about an internal glow, right? Because what is a glow? Glow is light, right? It's truth, it's consciousness. There are things that you're now aware of. There are realms that your consciousness is expanded into as far as new dimensions goes, where you can no longer return back to your old form. It's the butterfly that has emerged from this chrysalis, from this cocoon. And that's what it feels like. It's like you're emerging and springing forth as this new you. And this new you it's forging a new path, right? It's forging a new path that you didn't even know you were capable of previously, right? It's like within the caterpillar's journey, it always had the potential to become this beautiful butterfly. And there's something that it couldn't look at, right? I'm hearing it couldn't see its own wings. Butterfly can't see its own wings. And there's something about you're taking flight into a new trajectory, right? Literally, you're going to be seeing the world from a different vantage point, from a different level. It's almost as if you're anchoring higher dimensional levels of awareness into, your everyday experiences, and you're navigating it from a complete different level of awareness, right? Aware when it comes to what serves your soul's journey at this stage in your journey and the things that no longer do. And it's almost like you're discarding and dismantling anything that feels unaligned, right? Anything that feels like, honestly, it insults the soul at this stage in your journey, even though it could be comfortable or familiar to the ego. And that's the vibe that I'm seeing. I was going to say something else before the butterfly reference, but that came through. It's like you're unrecognizable even to yourself. And it's almost as if, again, you are the audience member seated in the theater, watching a new story of your life play out. And this is what I'm seeing. It's like that audience member that's watching you is your higher self. That audience member is within you, right? That's the silent, still observer. The one that knows the potential that you always had to emerge as a butterfly, even when you were a caterpillar, right? And it knew that you can't stick with butterfly wings on a caterpillar and expect it to fly. So it was not going to interrupt that process of the soul's journey to rediscovering that it is infinite potential that had lain dormant up until now. And you're entering into a realm where you're going to be really comfortable with following. I'm hearing the nudges from the universe, because that's what the nodal axis is all about, right? It is about the North Node in Pisces, where you are going to be connecting to being guided by forces that are otherworldly while navigating this world, and trusting the work that is happening in the non-physical Pisces behind the veil, and clearing away ways of moving through this existence that could lead to you attaching to old rigid structures or notions, right? And that's what I'm seeing. It's almost like there is practical and the spiritual, and spiritual and the practical being applied into your life. And that silent still observer is witnessing you. I'm seeing, like, respond differently in your everyday life, right? Things that you used to tolerate, maybe there's boundaries that you're setting today so that you can feel good about yourself moving forward. Whatever this is, there's almost like an element, right, within you where it really is a glow up, right? It really is a glow up. It does feel like you're going through a glow up with Wormhole, and you've gone through this or you're about to go through this season with a time dilation bubble. So it doesn't feel like this is something that's just happening overnight, but to the outside world, it appears like you've just woken up and you've just chosen to move different through this existence. It's like you become unrecognizable from the last time others saw you, right? From the last chapter. So it feels like you're disappearing and then you're reappearing, right, on the stage. That's what it feels like. You're disappearing and reappearing on the stage. But the character has transformed. The character has transformed. Maybe like their aesthetic, the way that they move. It's like that's what I'm seeing. I'm trying to relate it to like a very specific character. It's like Cinderella is coming through, right? Cinderella is coming through where there really is just this different, yeah. You're gonna realize that you have everything that you need within you and around you. There's this scene of, I always say this about life path eights as well. You know the scene in Cinderella where she has just scraps of fabric, but her guides begin to kind of weave and seamlessly blend and sew this fabric into, you know, into in front of her eyes. That's like an essence that's coming through. And she begins to become cloaked in, not just I'm hearing this gown, but she begins to begin to become cloaked in her awareness. She is aware that she can take whatever it is that she has and make the most of it. And this could just be about your life experiences in some way. But yeah, it's almost like you are going through that glow up moment. This is almost like a fairy godmother. There could be something about Jupiter as well in Cancer that has that fairy godmother vibe in some aspect of your life where it does feel like there are blessings upon blessings in this next cycle. Yeah, Cinderella, from ashes to rags, right? Magically transformed into a radiant and unrecognizable, right? To the point where even her step family doesn't realize it's her until later on. So this is like the classic quantum leap into another self type of energy, right? That's what you're going through, right? And the thing is, the shift has already happened within you. And that's why this third dimensional construct is almost catching up with the changes that you've undergone, right? That's what it feels like. Reality is now catching up with the shifts that have happened within you. And yeah, it's where the transformation isn't just about looks, it's about confidence, it's about power, it's about identity, okay? And that's like the energy that's coming through. So let's go ahead and see. I want to take a look at one energy around you. Have we got the deck? Let me see. Let's see. I'm going to take a look at one energy around you because I don't have that much battery, guys, as much as I'd love to continue reading on the energy. Let's see. Right, tell me about this. Tell me about this. Okay. Page of Cups. Page of Cups has a vision, right? Page of Cups is also very, very curious. So right now, the theme in your life is if pigs could fly, and pigs can very well damn fly. Page of Cups is basically at a point where he sees a vision in his mind, and essentially there are so many synchronicities that he's picking up on. He is literally immersed in this different kind of experience, even in the silence, right? Where there's a rose that only he's visualizing, there's a pig that only he's able to visualize, and he knows that there's something in the depths of the ocean for him. All he has to do is take his cup, immerse himself into this new way of being, and the new way of being becomes something that he emerges. Okay, I'm hearing from. So it feels like you're emerging from a new point. Okay, you're emerging from a new point of some kind. And I'm hearing it's a point of time. Oh, you know what this is? The healing that you're doing in the present moment is also leading to a level of quantum healing because you're healing past versions of yourself. As you show up for yourself in ways that you never have, you're also showing up for all the previous versions of yourself that had neglected themselves, all the previous versions of self that never recognized their light, all the previous versions of self that was holding on to things that you should have released, okay, that actually postponed the new things from coming in. And it feels like you're going through this cycle and this next scene completely detached and completely fluid, right? So with Seven of Pentacles here as well, it's almost like these are decisions that you're making now that benefit the future self. It may not feel great or instantly gratifying with the Seven of Coins to kind of clear the stage, right? But it's like There's an upgrade. There's an upgrade. Page of Pentacles. You have two new pages, which are two new beginnings. It's in the early stages of development, but it has so much potential for growth, right? Page of Pentacles is about a level up in your life, right? A level up that comes literally with a new beginning, and it's going to be very emotionally fulfilling for you. This is a new lifeline being handed to you. What else? We have the Nine of Pentacles. So this is it's a quantum jump. This is a quantum leap. You go from a page to a very independent Nine of Coins. And this is a quantum leap right here. Page of Pentacles to the Nine of Coins. You've just jumped 8 positions. Oh, and 8 is the life path 8. Do you see the circle back around of the Cinderella energy? There's something that's happening where I'm hearing it's going to quantify the experience. I'm hearing everything's going to be quantified. And what is that? That's about how you measure something. So there's something that you're going to be measuring in your experience. I'm even seeing things amplify just energetically. I'm also seeing an accumulation or things multiply for you in your reality. So this is like money with the Page of Pentacles, right? This could be like a skyrocket that's taking place where I'm hearing there's a huge floodgates of success that's going to be opening up. This is also about abundance. It's almost like I'm seeing like abundance hunting you down. You know, the scene is coming through around like, hi sir, hi ma'am. We were just looking for you to talk about your extended warranty. You know, like those kind of scenes. But there's something around the universe knocking at your door and busting it down and saying, hey ma'am, hey sir, we were just looking at you around, this glow up. You're eligible for this glow up. Are you ready for it though, right? Because it's ready for you. That's what it feels like. The stage has been set, da 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 da. We just need you to go through the costume change right now, right? Your dress is right here. There's something around that for you. There's something around this. All right. I'm going to get one last card for what your advice is right now. What's your advice? 7 of Wands. Right. 7 of Wands is protection. Your awareness is your protection. We have the Emperor here as well. It looks like you're going to be in a position of power where it does require you to make some kind of strategic move, okay, in your reality. This is also moves with confidence, right? Don't be afraid again with what boundaries you need to set today so that you can feel good about yourself. This is honestly being seated in a position where your energy is a privilege and it's something that you should exchange consciously, okay? Things that maybe you once gave your attention to are no longer going to be, I don't want to say something that's worth your time, but time is something that we don't get back, right? In this realm, there is something about your time almost becoming very valuable, okay? Because value is not determined based upon, I'm hearing, what is it? Value is not determined based upon an experience, but the amount of life you exchange with it. And we do have I'm hearing timeline in this experience. We have many of them and infinite actually. But there's something around time is of the essence in this lifetime, right? This is a life that you're experiencing for a certain amount of time. And in this life, the value of an experience is directly linked to the amount of life you exchange with it. Now I'm talking about life force. So this is about the amount of attention you give something. I'm hearing when it comes to your investments, mentally, emotionally, physically, financially, if you invest your energy into a situation that is taxing to you, into a situation that you don't see a return in regards to, into something that you can't really profit from in some way, and it's just draining your life force, well, then this is just big fat confirmation, right? To kind of redirect where you invest your energy, right? And begin to see how you can thrive in this timeline as you become selective, okay, and strategic in regards to where you place this chess piece. Because it feels like this is a checkmate position. You don't announce the checkmate until the move is already made. And there's something about you announce it through the movement itself. You announce it through the act itself. You announce it through the embodiment. And with the Emperor, this is high levels of establishment that you're reaching in some kind of arena in your life. And it's not something that is announced, it's something that's embodied, right? It's not someone that explains their worth, it's somebody that I'm hearing displays it. It's not somebody who, yeah, explains their worth. It's somebody who, what's it called? There's a specific energy around you. It's somebody who almost like demonstrates it, I guess. They there's a specific word and it's at the tip of my tongue. It's just like they embody it in a way that others will witness it, you know? They're a witness to how far it is that they've come, to the value that they've uncovered when it comes to the value of this lifetime, and that time being of the essence. That's what it feels like. The clock is ticking. The last few grains of sand are slipping through the hourglass, and I'm seeing something being reset in your life with the nodal axis and the eclipses. The hourglass is about to shift once again. That's what I'm seeing for you. Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna love and leave you guys right there. I know it's a weird place too, but my camera's literally about to die, so I'm gonna love and leave you. Personal reading details also down below. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, do consider subscribing. I'd love to have you around. And also check out Alter Spirit if you guys are looking for some high quality AA grade jewelry. This is a small family owned business that handcraft these AA grade individual gemstones that you can choose and kind of select and layer yourself. I have Celestite, Moonstone, Rainbow Moonstone, if I haven't said that already. They're intuitive stones. $1 of the proceeds are donated towards otter wildlife as well, otter sanctuaries. And they also have zodiac packs and other pre-packaged sets that you're able to choose from if you want to kind of have assistance in really being able to choose something that feels like I'm hearing it's almost like layered energies that speak to you. It's the energies that your soul is desiring to be able to work with during that moment in time in your evolution, okay? And I'm hearing it's something that you'll always circle back around to because time is a spherical model anyway. I have to go. So until next time, bye.